The story begins in a fantastical world where monstrous creatures are shown attacking a human settlement. A young man with striking eyes stands resolute, aware that he carries the last hope of the people. A young woman with long white hair, adorned like royalty, clasps his hands, imploring him to protect them using his special tactic skill. She then kisses him, causing his heart to beat faster and a twitch in his eye. She remarks that she still lacks sufficient wisdom and needs to engage in more erotic things to gain it. Following this, the young man, his eye now glowing with power, declares he has reached maximum wisdom and leaps into action, ready to confront the dangers. The narrative then signals a shift, stating, "This story." The scene changes to a modern-day high school. Two male students are engrossed in looking at a smartphone. They are observing the social media account of a popular gal from their school, Takanashi, who is known for her looks. Just then, Takanashi herself, dressed in her school uniform, walks by with her friends. She notices the boys and one of them, flustered, tries to explain that he only found her picture by chance. Takanashi, however, reacts with clear disgust, making a tisk sound and calling them gross and creeps, complaining that they always stare at her with disgusting looks before walking away with her friends. The two boys are left feeling dejected by her harsh words. Another student, Noah Zuiho, a second year with a confident smirk, approaches his two crestfallen friends. He inquires if they want to get back at Takanashi. One of his friends expresses concern that doing so might make them an enemy of all the girls, but Noah, unconcerned, devises a plan. He intends to use his unique ability to subtly embarrass Takanashi. Noah explains his process. First, he focuses, then he reenacts events in his mind, runs simulations, and creates tactics to achieve his goal. He targets a crow, noting its size, distance, and aiming parameters. He visualizes the trajectory and the outcome, calculating the variables for both the crow and Takanashi. After finding his answer through this mental simulation, Noah clenches his fist and flicks a small, unseen object with precision. The object startles a pair of crows, causing them to fly directly towards Takanashi and her friend. It is revealed that Noah knew from Takanashi's social media that she has a phobia of ravens. As the birds approach, Takanashi is visibly terrified. Later, as Noah walks away, his friends thank him for the satisfying prank. One of them then brings up a rumor about Noah, remembering a horrific random shooting massacre that occurred 5 years prior, where up to 39 people were killed. He recalls that Noah survived the incident, but his little sister was tragically killed right before his eyes. The friend clarifies that Noah isn't seeking revenge, as the culprit is already dead. Instead, ever since that tragic day, Noah has been obsessively trying to devise tactics to defeat a representation of the culprit, a former mercenary who fought overseas in a war. He does this by repeatedly reenacting the events in his mind, a process through which he perfected his tactical sight. The other friend finds the story somewhat fishy, questioning how Noah could be so adept at things like precisely aiming at the ravens or excelling in athletics if his ability was solely for this mental exercise. He also notes Noah's frequent talk about wanting a girlfriend, which seems to clash with his intense focus. However, the first friend dismisses these doubts as just rumors and coincidences. As Noah walks home alone, he passes a park where a little girl named Kaori is saying goodbye to her mother and another girl. Kaori spots a small kitten and, delighted, exclaims, "It's a kitty," and begins to chase after it playfully. The kitten runs and Kaori follows, her attention solely on the animal. Noah watches from a pedestrian overpass as the kitten, and then Kaori, run directly into the street, unaware of an approaching truck. Kaori's mother and her friends scream in terror. Witnessing the imminent danger, Noah's eyes sharpen as his tactical sight activates. He quickly throws off his backpack and leaps from the overpass. As he falls, he has a vivid flashback to 5 years ago. He sees his younger sister, Kana Zuiho, who was 5 years old at the time, petting a kitten. The kitten suddenly scratched her, making her cry out that it hurt and that she hated cats. A younger Noah comforted her, telling her they needed to go home and disinfect the scratch. He then suggested that the cat might have disliked being petted too much and that they should apologize to it next time. Kana smiled and agreed. The flashback shifts to a later, tragic moment where young Noah is calling out for Kana, only to find her lifeless. Back in the present, as Noah plummets towards the road, he resolves to save the girl, Kaori, even if it costs him his own life, wondering if this act might make Kana think better of him. He reaches Kaori just in time to push her out of the truck's path. Noah then finds himself standing on a serene, white, beach-like expanse under an empty sky. He reflects that he was too optimistic, realizing he cannot meet Kana if he is dead. Suddenly, a beautiful woman with long, flowing hair appears before him, calling his name. Noah asks who she is, and she replies that she has been called a god lately. She explains that she wants him to save a world and, in return, she will grant him the power of wisdom, which will enhance his tactical sight. Noah mishears power of wisdom, Seishi, as an erotic skill, Eki, due to the similar-sounding words, but the goddess clarifies. Playfully, she then offers him the power of wisdom that works through erotic things, but Noah firmly states he wouldn't do such things even if given the power. The goddess then makes a more serious offer. If he saves the world, she will also give him the power to bring back your precious person, meaning Kana. Noah is visibly moved by this prospect. With a deal struck, the goddess declares, "Now off you go," and with a whoosh of light, Noah vanishes. He reawakens with a start, finding himself in an unfamiliar, rustic village filled with thatched-roof houses and wooden carts. He has never seen such a place before and wonders if this is the world he is meant to save, noting it looks like a countryside village. He decides to first ask someone where he is. He observes a larger, more prominent house situated on a distant, huge rocky mountain, thinking he might learn something if he goes there. As he wonders why there is no one around, he hears a deep rumbling sound that grows steadily closer. Suddenly, a man from the village appears, looking alarmed. He shouts at Noah, asking what he is doing and urgently warning him to run for his life because the monster is coming. Before Noah can fully react or comprehend the situation, a monstrous, giant hand descends and grabs the villager. The villager screams as the hand crushes him, and then, to Noah's horror, the creature brings the man to its mouth and gruesomely eats him. Noah watches, aghast, as the massive, grotesque monster, with a wide maw and sharp teeth, licks its fingers. He shivers, realizing that this world indeed has monsters that eat humans. The goddess's condition for their deal flashes in his mind, for him to become this world's hero. The story ends with Noah standing frozen in shock, facing the terrifying creature.